welcome to Sports News. African champions Nigeria have moved up a place in the monthly ranking released by the World Football Governing Body, FIFA. Nigeria, who reached the round of 16 at the last World Cup in Brazil, are now ranked 33rd in the world and 3rd in Africa. Algeria's Desert Foxes are the best football-playing country in Africa. The Elephants of Côte d'Ivoire are 2nd. Ghana's Black Stars are 4th, while Egypt are 5th. Tunisia, Sierra Leone, Cameroon, Burkina Faso and Senegal complete the continent's top-playing countries. Meanwhile, 4-time world champions Germany are reaping the rewards of their triumph at the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil. The World Cup final against Argentina was also a duel for the leading position in the world ranking, with Joachim Löw's team coming out tops on both counts. Germany lead the log for the first time in around 20 years, followed by Argentina and the Netherlands. World Cup quarter-finalists Colombia and Belgium are in 4th and 5th. Uruguay slipped to 6th. Former champions Spain are in joint 7th with Brazil. Switzerland are 9th, while France are 10th. On the local scene, the crisis rocking the leadership of the Nigeria Football Federation may have been resolved with the intervention of the World Soccer Governing Body, FIFA. In a letter today to the Nigeria Football Federation, General Secretary, FIFA ordered that the impeached NFF President Aminu Megari be returned to his position because the process leading to his impeachment on July the 24th did not comply with some of its provisions. FIFA also ordered that the 2 suspended NFF Executive Committee members, Chris Green and Ahmed Yusuf, return to their posts. Members of the NFF Electoral Committee and NFF Electoral Appeals who were dropped are also to be reinstated. The World Soccer Governing Body then directed the Executive Committee under Aminu Megari to develop a roadmap for the elective Congress on August the 26th. In female football, the Falconets head coach Peter Dedevo has admitted that his team's defense lacked coordination despite a 2-1 victory over England in the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Canada. Dedevo explained that his team's defensive errors made sure that England pushed them to their limit. England opened scores 5 minutes into the game before Loveth Ayila fired a powerful shot from 25 yards 4 minutes to the end of the first half, while Azizat Oshoala converted from the penalty spot after she was brought down in the area. Nigeria will now face New Zealand for a place in the semi-finals this Sunday. In the meantime, UEFA has announced its shortlist for the Best Player in Europe award, with Cristiano Ronaldo, Arjen Robben and Manuel Neuer all in contention for the prize. Despite his awful World Cup, Cristiano Ronaldo is a favorite, having scored a record 17 goals in Real Madrid's Champions League winning campaign. Arjen Robben scored 3 times as the Netherlands reached the semi-finals and also scored 21 times in club competition. Neuer, who is the first goalkeeper to make the final 3-man shortlist, won the German domestic double with Bayern Munich last season and helped Germany to the FIFA World Cup triumph. The winner of the award will be announced during the UEFA Champions League group stage draw on August the 28th. And in golf, Tiger Woods will not be available for wild card selection in the Ryder Cup after he ruled himself out owing to a persistent back injury. The 14-time major winner failed to qualify automatically at last week's US PGA Championship and needed a wild card to compete. Woods had surgery in March and has been told not to play by doctors, but he pronounced himself fit to compete on the eve of the tournament. He plans to return to competitive golf in December for the World Challenge Tournament in Florida. Oh, that will be the final part on Sports News. Amarachi will be back in a moment.
On the foreign scene, Iraq's Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki has agreed to step down from office, ending his political campaign for another term as Prime Minister, also ending political deadlock which has plagued the country for weeks. Mr. al-Maliki had been under intense pressure to leave and support a new government that will be put in place by his replacement, Haider al-Abadi. Also, U.S. President Barack Obama today paid tribute to American forces for breaking siege and rescuing thousands of people in Iraq. Meanwhile, in Ukraine, there's been heavy shelling in the rebel-held Ukrainian city of Donetsk amid continuing row over a controversial Russian aid convoy. Cynthia Ara has more on these stories.
Well, that's indeed the case, and Donetsk has been surrounded for several weeks by Ukrainian forces battling pro-Russian rebels. Meanwhile, the convoy of at least 260 lorries carrying Russian aid has now halted after moving towards the border, and there is continuing confusion over the final destination. Then the situation in Iraq is so intense that the UN has declared its highest level of emergency as a humanitarian crisis follows the rapid advance by Islamic State militants in the north. But the US said a rescue mission to 8,000 who fled to Mount Sinjar was unlikely, as it had found fewer people and better conditions than expected. The UN estimates that 1.2 million Iraqis have been internally displaced. Also today, there is cause to heave a sigh of relief concerning the crisis in Gaza, as Israel and the Palestinians have begun a fresh 5-day ceasefire, which was agreed on at the end of a 3-day truce. But just as the ceasefire was announced, Israel launched airstrikes in response to alleged rocket fire from Gaza. Finally, he might be gone, but he's not forgotten. That's the message which critics of Michael Brown's death are sending to the police. Demonstrators were involved in clashes with police in the US state of Missouri on a fourth night since the incident amid growing anger at the fatal shooting of the black teenager by police. And those are the top stories on the foreign scene.
And the main news again, the federal government has confirmed that another Ebola victim has died in the country, making it the 4th case so far, and also giving the assurance that it is not relenting in efforts made towards containing the spread. The Health Minister, Professor Onyebuchi, has revealed that an experimental drug has been produced by a Nigerian scientist and will be used to treat those infected with the disease. As it is at 10 tonight, thanks for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Focus on Africa is up next.